Hi, everyone, and welcome to Pastor Paul's Weekly Wisdom. Thanks for tuning in. I'm really excited because EFC Newport is participating in the first ever Evangelical Friends Church Eastern Region Multiplication Sunday on Sunday, June 5th. We're going to hear stories of how God is moving and starting and multiplying new ministries and new churches across the United States. I hope it proves to be informative and inspirational. In a moment, I'm going to play a video that highlights a few of those stories. Please give it your full attention. All right, let it roll.
And there's something we need to realize about the American church is that for decades, slowly people have stopped coming in. The unsaved have stopped coming into our buildings on a regular basis.
And we need, as a church, to go out and be the church. And part of that is church planning, of going into those places where Jesus and the Spirit can lead us to meet people where they are and show them love and hope that comes straight from the Spirit, comes straight from Jesus.
We believe that the Great Commission that Christ has given to make disciples, to baptize, and to teach is carried out by the local church planting new churches.
When we decided to plant the collective, we knew that on any given Sunday, anywhere between 60 and 70% of folks were not a part of any church community anywhere. And so we thought a fresh expression might be a way to connect with that demographic of people.
And it wasn't just a aha moment, we need to plant a church. It was conversation after conversation, after cup of coffee after cup of coffee. How can we provide a place for people to meet and learn about the ways of Jesus, about his love, about his acceptance for all people in all time?
As a whole, the unsaved are not attending our churches anymore. It is documented that the most successful way of getting the gospel to the most people at once is to plant a new work. And so, what are we waiting for?
When we were deciding whether or not to be involved in helping plant a church, we had a lot of things to consider. We had been at Jackson Friends Church for 17 years. It's where we raised our kids. We were involved in a lot of ministries there.
You don't really know what you believe until you test it.
Yeah.
And so I think that the biggest impact on our faith has been if you're not willing to risk, you're not willing to test it and see all the ways that Jesus is going to show up.
We are not expanding our own kingdom, but we are expanding God's kingdom. Let us still keep on sharing gospel. Let us have that passion to plant churches. And God has given us the potential partners, being with the Evangelical Friends Church, to support in coaching, mentoring, training.
Let's start making our churches sending churches, raising people up specifically to plant new works. If God is calling you, just say yes. Obey him with your yes.
God did give us a really clear yes, but then we looked back and we started to see that he had been preparing us all the way along, even before we knew that that's what he was doing.
Start with what you might feel led to do and what your community might need in the way of a church, an expression of the kingdom, and then look at your resources and just say, with this scale, how can we do what we feel called to do?
So let us not be afraid of thinking and planning and praying for a new church in new places, in a new ways.
We've got to be willing to receive people with open hands and release them with open hands too when it comes to planting churches. So it's absolutely vital for EFCER to plant new churches.
We believe as a team that it takes all kinds of churches to reach all kinds of people. So maybe God's calling you. Maybe he's speaking to you even now. Maybe this is an area where you've been feeling moved in your prayer life and the Holy Spirit has been just nudging you in this direction. And if that's you, we'd love to be able to talk with you. We'd love to come alongside you and pray with you to discern how we're going to build God's kingdom together.
We hope to see you on Sunday, June 5th, when we join with other EFC churches for the first ever Multiplication Sunday. God bless you and have a great week.